Living on fat pockets on fold. They got blowing around, I those Cadillac. Still got my homies to watch my back and to smoke your ass. And then when I come jack, that's why some pigs and the kids come sweating, they follow. Hollow point shill's hard to swallow. Why wallow when they come to roll on it with the clip in the floor, I break your head sign. Not kicking dust, cause he to get bust. My crib's surrounded, I'm about to get brushed. I brush with death. How many shells left in my closet? Where my back home makes black when the shit goes down. Better be ready. When the shit goes down. When the shit goes down. You better be ready. When the shit goes down. When the shit goes down. You better be ready. When the shit goes down. When the shit goes down. You better be ready. Better be ready. I told the boys to start our Glocks and the rest of the guys I strap on the bulletproof vest. Boom, I think I got one to that test. Hot damn, I didn't want to kill a man. Shit, still stand tall with the Hill Clan. Y'all, you better step back. You better fall. I'm coming up blasting like a Simony Sam. I got the cheese and the bread for them. Shit goes down. You better be ready. When the shit goes down. When the shit goes down. You better be ready. When the shit goes down. When the shit goes down.
The following show features stupid opinions and ideas from two idiot brothers who probably did little research and practiced zero due diligence on the topic at hand. The MLO Bros' opinions do not reflect the views of their employer, guests, sponsors, families, neighbors, or pets. If you do not like what they are saying and don't agree with their views or opinions, don't watch the show. We can promise we do not care. Welcome to the worst show on the internet.
This is going to be a good one. I am
awesome.
calling it now. Fantastic.
Let's do it.
Oh, I'm so excited. Welcome to the MLO Bros. We're going to bring our guests on in a second here. I am Luke. That's Isaac.
Hi, everyone.
If you've been living under a rock, the reason this is going down tonight is we have the Rust Belt Theater Company on. They're going to do a production called The Drag Queen That Stole Christmas.
I think that's it, yes.
And they also, well, it's not just that, but they also do a bunch of other shows. But this one caused all kinds of controversy. And if you've been living under a rock, I'm not going to explain it again because it's just getting old at this point.
Right.
Anyways, if you're watching from home, do us a favor. Please share this. We're going to be talking about our charity week, two charities we have going on.
Right.
And also talking about the show, talking about a whole bunch of other stuff. So,
I'm going to pull up the one right now. Luke, give your spiel about the one charity that you've been focusing more on than I have.
So we have been collecting for something called Full Spectrum.
Okay.
It is a organization basically that helps the gay community. Is that fair?
No.
Oh, where'd you go, Isaac? Sorry.
LGBTQ plus community.
Yes, plus community.
I believe.
We are collecting,
our guests can correct us if we're wrong when they come on.
For 7 days, we are collecting donations on our Venmo account. It is the MLO Bros that we are going to literally write a check. All of the money we collect, every penny is going right to them.
Yes.
Go to the Venmo account and write Full Spectrum in the comments. We are donating it. We have, you ready for this? We already have $1,150.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
2 days. 2 days.
And just so everybody knows, this isn't our money. This is the people's money. It is our friends. It is our followers. Thank you all so much. It's not us.
It's not us. We're just helping get the word out, right? We're not claiming to,
So then our other one that got us into the Christmas spirit is this one. Project MKC Holiday Adopt a Family Program. The MLO Bros, all of you at home, helped us adopt a family of 8, 6 kids, 2 adults. And
I have 3 boys under 12. These people have double the children I have. I can't imagine.
Right. So we have bought presents and gifts for all the kids except one. We got one more left. Hold on. I believe it's another baby girl. Another 16-month-old girl. She wants 24 months clothes. Is that a thing? 24 months clothes, shoe size 3.
Yeah. It's about
But
24
maybe,
months. It's like for little kids.
but maybe they mean 14 months. I don't know.
No.
No?
24 months. You
is
have
okay.
a 16-month-old wearing 2-year-old clothes.
Okay. Size 3 shoes. She likes music and light up toys, learning toys, and mega Lego blocks. So we're gonna have a fun time shopping for her tomorrow. And that will be the last kid. After that, all donations that come in will go directly to the family through gift cards. We'll do like groceries, we'll do Walmart, we'll do Target,
Isaac,
whatever.
For that one, we've raised in about 3 weeks $2,200 for this family.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. This family is gonna have
we're gonna probably have $700 worth of gift cards for these people.
That's sick. That is sick.
Crazy. So that's another thing. And again, it's not us, it's our followers, it's people watching. To donate, Venmo, the MLO Bros put in Project MKC. And we're actually going to be, once we get done with the full spectrum next week, we have another charity we're going to be going into before Christmas, Isaac.
Season of giving. We're trying, guys. We're trying to help out people directly in the
while we're being assholes
area.
While we're being assholes, we try and help.
Right. You know, you be a little bit of an asshole, you can do some good. You know, be a little bit of an asshole, do some good. That's what we're trying to do.
Real fast, before I have our guests on, I know they're sitting down there waiting. Isaac, we had Santa come in today, like the Polar Express or the Poland Express. Santa comes on a little trailer sled and goes to we had a bunch of people here. So today, Santa from his sled, okay, there's like 30 people in my driveway. Santa from my sled says, "I just want everyone to know that you are all on the nice list," right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, everybody starts clapping. And then he stands up and he says, "Even Luke Schuster."
Good. That's awesome.
So then I say, I'm like, "Awesome. Everybody get the hell off my property." Like, literally. Santa's like, "No, Luke, no." It was funny. So anyways, all right. Let's bring our guests on, shall we? This is going to be, good. Boom. Look at that, Isaac.
Look at these fabulous ladies we have here tonight.
Introduce yourselves, please.
Well, my name is Starlet O'Hara. I am the star and author of How the Drag Queen Stole Christmas.
I'm Nicole Zayas Balaj, and I am also starring in How the Drag Queen Stole Christmas as this lady's friendly sidekick, Buffy. And I also help run operations for the Rust Belt Theater for the last many years.
Awesome. So
how did this story come about? And you've been doing it for quite a long time, right? How many years?
This is our 16th year. It's been 17 years, but I don't really count COVID because we did kind of like an online version of the show. But this will be our 16th full production of the show. It started at the Oakland Center for the Arts, which was a small independent theater that used to operate out of downtown Youngstown.
Mm-hmm.
And it started as a one-night event just to help raise money to pay for utilities through the winter for this small kind of like struggling theater. And that performance sold out. And then they extended it, and that sold out. And then pretty soon we were doing it year after year, every performance selling out, choosing different charities to donate the funds to. And it just kind of like became Youngstown's naughty little Christmas show. It has a cult following. And this year, like I said, this is our 16th full production. We're doing a weekend at the Youngstown Playhouse. Which is
that a big move, right? That's a big deal.
It's kind of amazing because we've always been kind of like the off-Broadway of Youngstown, if that makes sense. We focus on locally written material, stuff that you will never see anywhere else except in Youngstown, Ohio. And that's a huge deal. There's no other theater like us within a 50-mile radius that produces locally written material. So for the Youngstown Playhouse to reach out to us and kind of like lend us their stage is a really big deal.
So tell us about you writing the story. let's go back. Where did you grow up? And how did you come up with the story and all that good stuff?
Well, I grew up in Hubbard, Ohio.
Okay.
I grew up in the Baptist church.
Oh, goodness.
So I grew up evangelical, so I'm
Okay.
very familiar with that entire culture.
Okay.
And then I went to Youngstown State University for theater performance. And the show is actually based on A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, except with drag queens. And so that's the most interesting thing about people that have a problem with the show, is that it's a morality play. There's a villain who comes around and ends up realizing the spirit of Christmas and trying to make the world a better place. So anytime someone has a problem with this show, it's obvious that they have not seen this show.
Okay. Quick change up in questions. Go ahead, Luke. You go first.
I was going to say, I guarantee anyone who has a problem with this show has not seen it. I would put 100% guarantee stamp on that. Is that fair?
Right.
It's like, we have had pastors in the show.
Yeah.
We have had, and it's not just, so I do drag pretty regularly. I wouldn't say that I do it professionally, but I'm more weekends than not. I perform at Club Switch, which is the alternative club in downtown Youngstown. I'm the show director there as well. I plan all of the entertainment. But most of the people in this show only do drag for this show. We've got straight people, gay people, everything in between, male, female, all the genders. Like, it's not, we've got married straight men in the show. Like, this, it has always been that way.
Right.
So when someone attacks the show and assumes that the performers are a certain way, it just shows that they have no idea what they're talking about. You know,
and that's the thing. Go ahead.
That's something that's always bothered me, you know, because what the people that commented negatively about this, they saw me on a graphic and had an issue with it without having any idea what we as an organization or we as a show are about.
Right. And where we messed up too is where we could have used the pastor to educate more people. And we almost played along with him, whereas we could have used it as an education moment where it's like, listen, pastor, you're afraid, you don't know, you've never seen this before, you don't want to see it, you don't want to understand what these people are, but people just assumed, okay, this is all like one group of people, and it's so much more than that. Like you said, it's gay, straight, whatever it is. It's not just, like you said, there's plenty of straight people in the play.
This is a theatrical production. It's full of actors, period.
I believe it predates Kinky Boots, which is a Broadway musical that is now touring. I think this show is written before Kinky Boots, and people travel from all over the world to see Kinky Boots, which one of the writers, of course, is Cyndi Lauper. So this show is earlier than that show. And
that's wild.
Yeah, and this is a full-length musical that is put on by volunteers who all have other jobs. And we're like you guys, you know, we all have jobs and we all participate in other community volunteer activities. And it's amazing to me because in every show, we usually raise like our 50-50 money, and we used to do basket raffles, and that went to local charities. And one of the charities we've given to for many years, or we've done a drive to collect household goods or like cleaning products and paper products, is the Dorothy Day House of Youngstown, which is run by like an 80-something-year-old nun. And she feeds the whole town. She allows the unhomed to shower there once a week.
And the Dorothy Day House is, correct me if I'm wrong, a Catholic organization.
It is a Catholic organization. And and Sister Ann, who runs that, she came to our show every year until she was a little bit unwell the last couple of years. But she sends a team of her people, and they all come to see our show. And I happen to be a practicing Catholic who sings at church, but I also am part of the queer community. And I love giving back to Sister Ann because her mission there is so amazing. And since the beginning, when she started coming to us, she said, please bring everyone to my table. Everyone is welcome to eat there.
That's
You're all
beautiful
welcome
thing.
to use our space, to shower, to share a meal with us and fellowship. And you're all welcomed at my table. And that is truly, to me, the message of, you know, the faith that this person, I don't want to attack anybody, but the
Right.
faith of that person, this is the true, you know, faith that the people who are believers are looking for. And that, to me, is why I kept inviting her back. Because to the people who have been so deeply traumatized by these faithful people, you know, she was really healing to queer kids, gay kids, transgender people, and saying, you're all welcome here. I will help you in any way I can. And that's a healing moment for us. And I can't tell you the amount of people in our town who keep coming back to the show, who have lost family members. We've lost cast members who have been part of this show who have passed on. A person who we used to be in the Calvin Center, and the previous owner, he helped us get on our feet as the Rust Belt Theater. He passed away. And when we, at the end of the show, and I could tear up thinking about it, we sing a really beautiful song together when we realize how important our relationships are. And Starlet realizes, of course, in the show, but I cry every year because I just think of all the people we've lost and how much we love each other. And we try to keep going every year because the holidays are difficult.
The holidays are very difficult for people all across the board, you know, but particularly for people in the LGBTQ plus community. You have to realize that there are a lot of young people, especially, they can't go home for the holidays. I mean, can you even imagine that your family completely disowning you based on just who you are, who the lottery that you drew being born? People will disown you for that. And that's why when it comes to, like, when I suggested Full Spectrum as being a good charity, it's because I recently did a fundraiser for them because I did a fundraiser a few weeks ago that was specifically geared toward just feeding people for the holidays. And I raised about $2,000 just from, it was a one-person show, and I cooked dinner for people and I performed for them. And the idea was that I just want people to have a place to go and a place to eat for the holidays. That's it. You know, and I got criticism for that because specifically, like, people, you know, brought up like the Dorothy Day House saying, you know, well, they feed heroin addicts and they feed prostitutes. Well, they feed everyone, and I want them to.
Yeah.
I don't, there's no list of qualifications that I think people should have to fill out in order to be fed. You know, it breaks my heart a little bit, you know, because when someone is homeless, there's a whole lot of things that go into that, a whole lot of factors. In fact, just the other day, so I was in the Walmart parking lot, and there was this guy going around, and he was like asking people for money, right? And I gave him a couple dollars, right? Then one of the employees came over and said, you know, he does that all the time. You shouldn't give him money. And I said, it's my money. And
I'll do whatever I want with it. Yeah.
And I don't care if he goes in and spends it on alcohol, because he's clearly got something going on. And if I can make his day a little bit better, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Well, and now I'm going to give every hobo I see money whenever they ask me for money. Thank you very much.
Honestly, I'm a social worker. My trade is I'm a social worker, and we have so many hungry and unhomed people in this town that every single place that offers meals is full to capacity all the time. So when the rescue mission was downtown, the Dorothy Day House, that new Salvation Army downtown, there's people lined up when I'm driving to work in the morning. I mean, every day that they serve a meal, there's people waiting. They're at Full Spectrum. There's people that are coming in to eat when they have meals. I mean, it's everywhere we have in this town that offers, you know, food pantries or free meals. People are going because they need it. There's a need out there, especially queer, trans, LGBTQ people who need a safe space to go, because they're not likely to walk into a church and hit up a food pantry, or to go to a place that offers warm clothing or coats. If they can't afford them, they need to go to a place where they know that nobody's going to try to hurt them.
And sadly, a lot of those places have conditions as to whether or not they will help you. You know, if you need housing at, let's say, a rescue mission. Do you know? Do you guys know who Kim Petras is by any chance?
No.
Kim Petras is a recording artist. She's trans. She's petite and gorgeous, like me. She's petite and she's gorgeous. And if she were to go to a rescue mission, they would make this little woman room with the men because of her assigned gender at birth.
Huh.
And it's completely inappropriate. It's not safe either, you know? And so that's why I suggested Full Spectrum, because Full Spectrum is working on creating the first homeless shelter that caters specifically to people that need that little bit of extra consideration.
What?
Go ahead.
Oh, can I make a comment? So Scarlett, Rob, and Nicole. The thing that Isaac and I figured out, which you kind of touched on, and people complaining about like where you give your money to, and you know, that we have literally taking slack. Isaac, is this safe to say? For every charity event we've ever done, right?
Yeah.
From people. In Lowville, there was a tragedy where a kid took his own life in the lunchroom a couple years ago. We raised money to make. There was a dance coming up. We had people messaging us, telling us it's too soon. How dare you? Blah blah blah.
Right.
For the one we're doing now, okay, the one we're doing now with Full Spectrum and with Project MKC, we have people in other Facebook groups. They're not doing it directly to us because they're too chicken to do it to us, but they're making comments saying things like they're not a 501(c)(3). Why would you give them their money? We can't.
We're not doing it. We're not doing it out of the kindness of our hearts. We're doing it for clout, and you know, it doesn't count. It doesn't help anything.
Because
so
it's
why
not
would
our
you?
money. Yeah,
It's not their own money, so they don't care. It's like no matter what you do, people are always going to complain.
I have been doing this now for 25 years, and there will always be people that complain. But when I go to bed at night, I know that I have done the most good. I know that I have done what I think to be the most, and I have to trust my own integrity. I have to trust my own moral compass, because that's all we can do.
I had a girl. I knew we were doing the right thing on Tuesday after I announced it. And I had a girl, I'm not going to say her name. I'm going to say she went to Poland, Ohio. She is currently in college. She messaged me directly and said, "Thank you so much for doing this." Because Poland, everybody knows Poland, right? We're talking, Poland. And she said she moved here. She was gay and she was not accepted. She was bullied. She was, just absolutely basically spilling her heart out in these messages to us.
Right.
And saying, "Thank you so much for bringing attention to it and donating to Full Spectrum, organizing it. Thank you, thank you, thank you." And I called Isaac. I was like, "Dude, this is perfect. This is what we need to do, because it is unbelievable for some 20-year-old girl to feel like that." I was like, "Oh my God, brutal." I mean, you guys have gone through that your entire lives, correct? I mean,
yes. I did a drag show in Poland in May.
Where the hell were we at? How did I not know? We know everything.
Actually, it was a fundraiser for Mary Hall, who was a local teacher who was battling colon cancer, and they had it on at Turning Point on Youngstown Poland Road. And at the time, of course, the news outlets, they advertised it. They posted video of me singing, and we raised thousands of dollars to help this woman with her cancer treatment expenses. And there were so many comments that all they could see was a man in a dress. That's all they focused on. They didn't focus on the people that went into making this event, the basket raffles, the donations, the hundreds of people that showed up. All they complained about was me looking like this. And that's just baffling to me.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing, it's theater too. I think you've said that, Rob. It's theater. Nicole said it. It's theater. Ancient Roman plays, guys dressed up as girls forever. I mean, this is
as long as there has been clothing, I guarantee there has been drag. I guarantee that there was some caveman who saw some fabulous pelt whipped it over his shoulder,
I am gonna wear that.
and said, "I'm gonna wear that."
I'm gonna rock that. Yeah.
Since we began, we've been protested, though. I mean, 17 years ago at the Oakland Center for the Arts, we had people outside with signs. I mean, telling us we're going to hell. We actually at the Calvin Center, we had a whole line of some particular church out there protesting, but all of us were at our jobs during the day, so we didn't even know that they were there. Someone drove by and took a picture and said, "Hey, they're protesting you right now." And we're like, "Oh, that's cool. Well, we're at work." So I don't know why they're not, but okay.
Right.
Tomorrow we are going to be in the parade in downtown Youngstown for the tree lighting, and we haven't done that in 10 years because the last time we did it, we got a lot of negative feedback, and it's hard. It's just hard to face that all the time. And 10 years ago, I was like, okay, is me being there dressed like this, is it causing, negativity for other people who are trying to get into the holiday season? So we haven't done it for 10 years, but we're going to do it tomorrow because Mama's in a scrappy mood.
I could tell Scarlett was in a scrappy mood with some of the posts recently. I was like,
I have a question, and then I have actually wrote some
good
down.
God, everybody!
No. It's not yet. No, that's
getting weird now.
So wait. So here's the thing. A disclaimer.
Save it for the second half of the show.
So a disclaimer. You can ask me anything you want, but that's not always the case with other drag performers and queer people. Just so you know.
No, and I think there are a lot of questions, and there's fear involved in it, right? Because people don't know, and I think they're afraid to ask the question.
Oh, absolutely.
But I feel like if they had someone that wasn't going to judge them, that they could ask the questions, the hard questions too, if they had a friend, that they could ask those questions to, I feel like it would be communication's important, is what I'm trying to say. So, but no, I have a question
Isaac,
that I think a lot of people have that we haven't answered yet.
How the fire department will do that thing where they like come and touch a fire truck? I'm that. But a drag queen. You can ask me whatever you want.
Okay,
such a drag queen.
So I've been watching TikToks, right? And some of the TikToks are hilarious, where you have somebody walking through a drag show, and they keep saying, like, the caption is asking or calling drag queens by their street names.
Okay.
So then they go in behind the scenes, and they're walking up to these drag queens. They're like, "Hey, Ron, what are you doing?" And the drag queen like turns and is like, "Oh." So they just do it with like a bunch of different drag.
Oh, he froze. Is he frozen for you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
His internet just went down. He'll come back. Well, that was he was like right in the middle of asking a good question. While Isaac logs on, I would just like to say Isaac and I are two dudes from North Lima, Ohio. So if we're saying anything insulting, I apologize. Like, I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like that's the other thing too. It's almost like I think people are afraid to be offensive sometimes because like I don't want to say the incorrect thing. Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense. But it's important to me to be the person that you can talk to, that anybody can talk to. I find that when someone is different from you, it's easier to kind of like, it's easy to hate someone that you don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's easy to be ignorant to someone that you don't know, but to sit down and have a conversation, that I always say that and this is how I felt about the situation with the pastor who will not be named, Pastor BJ. Sorry.
Go ahead.
People, when they act like that, they're usually fall into two categories. They're acting out of ignorance or they're acting out of malice. I can work with ignorance.
Yeah.
If they legitimately don't know.
Right.
I will happily sit down and answer any questions. But I don't believe that he was doing that. And once I believe that someone is being hurtful on purpose, that's when I walk away.
Right.
My internet just went out. I have to restart my router.
That's okay.
But my question is, for the people that don't know, who's Rob?
That's
Who
right.
is Rob?
Are we? So I don't think people know. Like, so you're, hold on. Oh my gosh, router.
Can just talk to it from your phone, Isaac.
If you
Okay.
passed Rob on the street, you wouldn't know him.
Right.
Really?
So are
For those of you joining us, this is normal for our awful podcast, by the way.
Sorry.
In case you're new here, this is what we do. We are titled the worst podcast on the internet intentionally for such reasons.
But when you're dressed up, you have a different persona, and then
I do.
and when you're dressed as Rob, you're dressed as Rob. How's it work? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Well, a lot of it is that this is a character. This is a
Okay.
character I created actually specifically for. Actually, I'm being kind of tame tonight, but this is a character I created specifically for the stage. A lot of misconceptions about drag are that the drag dictates your sexual orientation, it dictates your identity, and for some people, it does.
Okay.
For me, it's more about performance.
Got
Other
it.
people, it's about gender exploration. Other people, it's about self-expression. For me, it's a character that I've created. So, Rob is a gay man, but if you saw me shopping at Target, you would probably walk right by and have no idea that I dress like this on the weekends.
When
is an
did you?
introvert.
Okay.
What's
Rob is an introvert. He
Really?
doesn't like to people.
I don't.
I have
Really?
to force my best friend Rob to go places and say, if you are good and you people today, I will give you a treat. Because
Really?
Rob does not like to people. But Starlet people
Loves the people.
all the time.
Wow.
Mhm.
Rob or Scarlett, when did you decide, I'm going to dress in drag? Was it for theater? Because you said you went to YSU for theater.
Yes.
When was
yes.
it?
So this is a little bit of this answer is a little bit controversial. So
Okay.
I actually started doing drag because that was how you got into gay bars when you were underage.
Back in the day.
Now you have to keep in mind that in the late 90s, there were not social clubs in places like Youngstown, Ohio. There was no full spectrum. To meet other gay people, you had to go to a gay bar, period.
Okay.
And so I found out that if you performed, they didn't check your ID.
Oh.
And so I was 17, 18 years old.
Get into bars.
And that's and I was good at it, unfortunately. And so I'm stuck doing this for the rest of my life. And
I like it.
But that's what it started with. And then I started doing, back then we would actually tour all over Ohio and Pennsylvania to universities who had growing LGBT university groups. And so we would do fundraisers for them. So we would perform for everywhere from John Carroll University to Tri-C to Kent. We would go all over the place. And that's when the fundraising aspect started coming into the stuff that we do. We've been doing How the Drag Queen Stole Christmas for 17 years, but we've been doing fundraising as a drag for 22 years. And it just kind of grew from there. And then as more and more people started doing these performances with me, I kind of developed this huge drag family. And now people that have started doing drag as a result of working with me are working all over the country doing similar things. One thing that people don't realize is that 90% of the work that drag queens do is for charity. That's different, of course, when you're talking about people on television that are getting RuPaul, people that are getting huge amounts of money. Most people do this for 90% of the work I do is to raise money for some charity or some group, whether it be for Mary Hall, who is suffering from cancer, or Full Spectrum, or the Dorothy Day House, or drag queens. That's why it always cracks me up when people say something like the comment about, a man of God out there doing God's work. And I wrote that response to that says, we do this and this and this and this, which Jesus is pretty clear as listing that these are the things that you are supposed to do. I would like to know what this pastor is doing, because as far as I'm concerned, we're doing God's work.
I was told that my Jesus is different than his, and my Jesus is related to Satan, is what I was told.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And Satan,
it's like
Satan
that was,
donates to charity, just like you.
yeah,
That's what he
yeah.
told us.
Satan donates to charity, and it's not. And I don't want to keep going back to that guy, but there is a lot of people out there that think that way about the gay community, and it is terrible. I like, and that's why when I saw that post, and it wasn't Isaac, it was me. I snapped and I said, "All right, we're frying this dude," because I knew exactly what our followers were going to do when they saw that, and I want to do that, and it's terrible to want to do that to somebody, but it's like people are like, you don't want to fight hate with hate, you don't want to, you know what I mean? But it's like,
I don't.
like,
So recently, like, I got into this with somebody online a couple weeks ago. Sometimes I'm tired of being the bigger person.
yes,
I'm tired. I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people coast on that phrase. Oh, you should be the bigger person. And a lot of people get away with really bad behavior for a long time because no one ever checks them.
Right.
And I appreciate you checking him.
Oh, we'll
Right.
check whoever. Yeah, we always check what we think is wrong.
And that's the thing. If like you're standing up for someone or standing up against someone who's being a total asshole, like, I'm sorry if that's not what you want me to do, but there are times where I can't help it. I have to. Like, I'm gonna stand up for someone who's getting picked on, and stand up against someone who's being a hateful asshole. Like, I can't help it.
When you guys get a chance, do you guys remember the paranormal circus that was in Boardman?
Oh, I watched your videos and I
Oh,
laughed.
did you see that? The video
People
I
protesting boobs.
made? Yes, boobs, exactly.
Boobs.
Someone, I don't know if you caught the fallback from that. Someone called my church and turned me into the church and told my pastor that, or told the church that they have to watch their flock because there is a sinner there with them.
Oh my God.
Trying to corrupt. So I got pulled in with my pastor and had a 15-minute conversation about that. Luckily, I was in a good mood that day with the pastor because I'm telling you, I was freaking pretty hot after I get pulled into that. And I was blown away that somebody who has a problem with me making a video where I'm not even talking about like church. I didn't reference the church one time,
No.
right? And to call a church and say you have a sinner amongst your sheep and you should do something about it is just mind-blowing to me. So like I said, I cannot imagine what you guys have to go through with this kind of crap. And that's just me doing a video. Like, you have to, I mean, it's gotta be exhausting, like you said. I can't.
Did the nun, you guys talked about the nun that would do your shows, did she ever have conversations with you about faith or anything, or try and like?
All she says is, "You're all welcome to where I serve people." That's it. That is her message, and that is all. She's very loving, and she cares about everybody in the community. She wants to feed people, and she doesn't care. She specifically said, like, transgender, and this was years ago. She said, transgender people, bring them to my table. Everybody's welcome.
But she never said, you know how people are always like, oh, love the sinner, hate the sin, or whatever they say.
No.
Did she ever say anything like that?
No, what she did say was, whether you know it or not, you're doing God's work, and that God works in mysterious ways. And while I don't know what I believe at this point in my life, I did appreciate that, because it was a level of respect that I don't usually get from the religious community.
So another fun story about that is at one of our earlier shows where she started coming and I would introduce her to the audience. We had like a gay couple that came to our shows, and they were like two rich gay men with no children, and they own a farm, and they started growing vegetables and taking them there. And they started doing their own outreach to get paper products to take to her. They became really good friends. They're better friends with her than we became, because we forged. And they cried and they said, I grew up Catholic, and I was taught by my parents it's not okay to be gay, but I've been married to my husband for this long. We love each other and we try to do good in the community. And she hugged them and she said, I'm so sorry that happened. and they forged a bond, and that's how that moved forward. I mean, that's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
awesome.
I love trying to make my family happy and get the
Isaac,
approval.
your mic's messed up now.
Stupid. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, I'll fix my internet. Hold on.
All right, fix your internet.
Sorry.
He's struggling today. Normally it's not bad. He lives out in like Greenford, so he's in the middle of nowhere. Let me.
So do you have any questions?
Oh, I'm gonna say those for my brother because he's got some doozies. I'm not gonna lie. Anybody that's getting offended, get off now because I don't know if you caught the show last week or Tuesday, but he was talking about tucking stuff. So
that's fine.
Before he comes, I'm sure he's gonna come back on. What was the other questions I had? I actually wrote some down, but I'm not gonna do that. So you've had you've had people protesting outside. But tell us enough about the protesters and everything. I mean, how many people are coming to these shows? Actually, you know what? Well, Isaac logs me here. Let's do this. How do people buy tickets? People are in the things asking for tickets.
Well, it depends on which experience you would like. If you would like the up close and personal gritty dive bar experience, which I prefer,
personal dive bar. Okay.
You can come to see it at Club Switch, which is the first weekend. It's December 8th and 9th. And there's a phone number on our graphic to call to make reservations for that. If you want the more traditional like theater experience, we'll be at the Youngstown Playhouse the 15th, 16th, and 17th. And you get tickets at youngstownplayhouse.org for those productions. And we're doing a matinee, so people can come after church.
Was it more traditional experience? What was it at the Youngstown Playhouse? What's the dates on those? I'm writing those in the thing.
15, 16, and 17.
15, 16, and 17. Got it.
And on the 16th, we have a midnight show with an extra risque performance.
It's amazing. And where can they buy the ticket? Online?
Yeah.
The Rust Belt Theater, they could reserve by text or phone, and they could buy them at the door, as long as they have reservations, because we will sell out.
You're going to sell out the Youngstown Theater or the Youngstown Playhouse?
I hope so. That one's a huge theater, but I know at Club Switch we will definitely sell out, and we usually sell out this show every year.
Awesome.
In fact, when we were at the Calvin Center, we used to hold 300 or 400 seats. We actually had to go out and buy seats because we ran out of chairs. That's how many seats we sold.
Tell me. So what's a straight guy got to do to get in the play next year? Is there auditions?
There's auditions. Yeah.
We have open auditions. Everyone is welcome.
Do I have to dress in drag, or is there any non-drag parts I could play?
There are some non-drag roles, but I think you would be lovely.
I'm not so sure about that. I
don't know if you've noticed, but I'm really good at makeup.
Rob, that's what we said. When we get a charity, I swear, after Christmas, at the start of next year, let's do a charity, let's do a fundraiser, okay? And you guys can dress Isaac and I up and do our makeup, and we'll do that. But I'm going to need some donations from some people for me to do that again.
You will be unrecognizable if you let me do it.
Not going to be cute. I'm sticking with it.
That's not. I think you might be lovely.
Oh, wait. We were talking about him.
Oh, hey, Chip.
There's Chip right there. Rob's writing is unbelievable.
Oh.
There you go. Fire Chief Chip on there. Steven says, I did fundraising in a drag a few years ago. It was a blast.
He did. He rocked it too.
I mean, I'm not going to lie.
Fearless.
Mm-hmm.
I have
a set of stems on him. That's Steven.
Yeah. I want to see Luke in the present box, no shirt with the suspenders. I'm wearing a shirt. I mean, my goodness.
See,
I'm not going to lie.
Already in our characters. So they're fans.
So I don't know if
I would also like to see you no shirt with suspenders. Just saying. Just putting it out there.
He would not, I promise.
It's important to shoot your shot. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, buddy, there's no way. Let's hear. It's amazing. That will be the third year, hoping to find my future son-in-law one of these times. There you go.
Aww.
You know what though? I've dressed in drag a lot. I'm not drag, but as a woman. I worked on a cruise ship.
Yes.
And we had shows with the passengers, and I was always the big giant girl, like in this different show, like the dance, like we had not dancing. It was like called Rockin' to the Oldies. So we do like songs from like the 50s, 60s, and 70s. It was hysterical. And like I said, I don't understand what the big deal is, especially if it's like theater or it's for a good cause. And for anything, if you're comfortable with it, I don't freaking care.
Or if it's for sexual kicks, that's nobody's business.
Yeah, honestly.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, exactly. How you doing, Isaac?
Horrible. I checked online, and Armstrong is reporting outages in my area.
Okay.
So that's
Look,
about
that is homophobic.
Yeah.
What's
Isaac,
homophobic?
That's homophobic. Canceled.
Probably.
Cancel us. Isaac, we're talking after Christmas because I have to get through Christmas with my freaking kids because this is driving me crazy with all the stuff we have to do.
Yeah.
We are going to do a fundraiser where we raise $2,000 or $1,000. Everybody has to donate. If we don't get it, I'm not doing it. Scarlett is going to do our makeup, find dresses for us, and do us all up, make us look pretty.
Scarlett, I've already dressed as a woman, and I need you to know that I'm beautiful. Okay.
I mean, you have a good face for it, I think.
The creepy thing was I looked exactly like my sister.
Yeah.
I'll send you the YouTube video.
I look like my mom. I mean, it's just a thing that happens. You know?
Right.
Isaac, send it, post it on the MLO Bros.
I will.
The video, and then post a picture of Patty. It was the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen.
It was like I was looking in the mirror because I'd never done that before. I was looking in the mirror and like watching my lips move, and I could my brain couldn't register because it thought it was my sister. It was really, really creepy. Really,
a
really
couple of
creepy.
years ago for Youngstown Pride, we did like an early news segment, and I can't remember the name of the news anchor, but they contacted me and said, "Will you put this news anchor in drag for the morning segment?"
Yeah.
And so I took all my stuff down there. I made sure I had clothes that would fit him, makeup, wig, everything. And they were like, "Okay, you have 11 minutes to get him into drag." And I was like, 11 minutes, challenge accepted. And like, I'll never forget, like I slapped makeup on him. We threw a dress on him, and I had this giant blonde wig, like Dolly Parton wig. And I'm about to put it on, and he was like, "No, maybe not the wig." And I was like, "You're putting this wig on." And then he went on, and like I need to send you pictures of this guy. It's
yes.
He looks pretty though. I mean, he really did. He looked good, but it was just like they had no idea like what goes into it or how much time it takes. You know, they're like, "Oh, you'll have 11 minutes." Oh, yeah. Okay.
In TV news,
I'm looking at the comments here.
Well,
where is Club Switch? Somebody's asking, where is Club Switch?
It's in downtown Youngstown, right next to the jail.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
Right next to the jail. I don't.
What's funny is that I think a lot of the prisoners can see our patio, so I've definitely performed for them.
I'm sure you have. I need Isaac here to ask these questions that he was
for free, which is also charity.
He keeps freezing up. Let's see here. Let's go through some of these comments. I'm glad of the outcome. This is a good one. I'm glad of the outcome from the original post. So much to learn. Especially, this is another thing too. As a special needs mom, I see this too: ignorance or malice, the looks, the whispers. If you are not familiar with autism, I will sit down and talk. But people are rude. They get me, mommy. They get me, mommy bear. Yeah, yes. that stuff too. That's one we've always tried to help out too, because that is just ridiculous. The special needs community. We've donated so much time, money to them, and that drives me crazy because it's those poor kids and those people told you can't do something because of the way that one gets me too, for sure. Oh, let's see here. Stephen to fundraiser and drag feed was a blast. President Box, why are you people obsessed with me? Jeez.
Give the people what they want. Lose the shirt.
I am down 60 pounds over the last year, so I would be a little bit more comfortable with it.
Boo! I like him thick.
So does my wife, Scarlett. We always say she's a chubby chaser.
I mean,
let's see here. I invited the MLO Rose to go. with us on the 16th. I got to check the schedule. I do want to check. I'm so vested now. I got to go and check out the. I just got to get a date where I can go. Let's see here. So prep. How long does it take? You were just talking about. We're waiting for Isaac to come out. How long does it take you to get ready?
Me personally,
Yeah.
it takes exactly how much time as I have to get ready.
Right.
Like honestly, so the fundraiser that I just did a couple weeks ago, Act 1 I performed as Robert, and Act 2 I performed as Starlet. So I had 20 minutes.
Okay.
And I mean I did pretty well. I mean it looked good. You know, today was about 35 minutes. You know, to get into this. It's not. You know.
And how much are you guys practicing right now for the play?
It's every night.
Every
5
night?
nights a week. Well, every weeknight. It's 5 nights a week.
Wow. And who now? Are you the director too?
Yes.
And Nicole, what do you do? You're the.
So I'm one of the main characters that play opposite Starlet.
Okay.
And I have a couple of friends with me, and we're the other performers at the club that Starlet runs.
Starlet is like the Ebenezer Scrooge character,
Gotcha.
if that makes sense.
Okay. Right, of the Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
So it's very funny. We have a Youngstown flair to the show. There's a song called Good Morning Youngstown that opens the show, and it is freaking hilarious. That itself is worth the money just to see, because it's hilarious, and even the props are just ridiculous. So that opens the show, and the audience is just dying of laughter. So it's got a lot of humor. I mean, most of the show is funny, and then of course there's a couple naughty digs and naughty jokes and stuff throughout the show. Just because everybody wants a little something. So the whole show
it's an adult? Is it safe to say it's an adult show?
Yeah, 16 and over. We usually recommend.
Yes.
Some parents that are really super believe that their kids are adult enough to handle it, bring like 14, 15. But we recommend 16 and up.
16 and up, because it personally, that's what I would say. Like my 12-year-old niece has definitely seen it, but that's entirely up to my sister. I don't think that it's appropriate.
That's a parent calls with that.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. Isaac, before your internet goes out, start asking questions.
Man, I feel so bad. I am so sorry, you two. Like,
that's not your fault. Armstrong's homophobic.
They must be. I feel so bad. I'm sorry I didn't give you your time, and I have my questions.
Did you ask your questions out? Do you have any questions you'd like to ask that you've always wanted? I do. We got a drag queen here.
So I think you were just talking about one of them with kids. You said it's not a kid show.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
We do family friendly programming throughout the year, especially, I do drag queen story time with Full Spectrum.
Yeah.
The stuff we do at Pride in the Valley and Pride Youngstown is also family friendly.
Right.
When I do stuff like that, we usually focus on dressing as Disney characters, more wholesome kind of family things. We read stories that are about anti-bullying and inclusion and that sort of thing. But this particular show is definitely very risque.
So my question would be, and I feel like some people have this question too. So to the people that say, okay, you're bringing drag kids or drag queens around kids, do you think you're like, if a family is raising a kid that is, and they're raising the child like, oh, this is what a boy looks like, this is what a pretty girl looks like. Do you think, like, the people who say, oh, you're confusing little boys who are attracted to girls?
Oh, we're losing him again. That was a good question. I know what he's asking.
Well, first of all, I would say that, children can't get to these shows on their own.
Right.
Someone has to take them. So if you're terrified that your child is going to be affected by drag queens, don't take your children to a drag show. I mean, that seems like and the other thing is that, so we had an issue a couple of years ago, and this, in 25 years of doing this had never happened to me. I was on stage performing at Pride in the Valley, right on Courthouse Square in Warren, and a man stormed the stage with a megaphone, calling me a pervert, saying that I was grooming children. It was, and saying that I was sexualizing children. Now, I was dressed as Elsa from Frozen.
Okay.
completely covered from head to toe. And when children see me dressed as Elsa singing Let It Go from the movie, what they see is Elsa
Elsa.
until
Yeah.
some creepy adult brings his 2 cents into it, you know?
Right.
And that's something that I've never really understood, because I mean, even look what I'm wearing right now. Like, I'm completely covered. You know, it's
Yeah.
not, and children, when they see that, they see, you know, a character from like an amusement park. They see, you know, when I'm Ursula the Sea Witch, they see Ursula the Sea Witch. They did, you know, it's not weird until some adult brings their 2 cents in.
But also, why are we sexualizing everything? Like, drag queens themselves are not sexualizing, especially like we are all responsible adults who are putting on a costume basically and doing a performance. Nobody is there to talk about sex or sexualization. We're not sexualizing each other. We're not up there groping each other. Like, it's literally singing a song or lip syncing to a song in a dress. And it could be any person. We don't know people's gender. So like, it's literally any performer. Drag queen. I'm a drag queen when I dress in drag. You know, I was the first, what do they call them now? Assigned female at birth.
Yes.
Drag queen. That's the new terminology.
Assigned female at birth?
Yes.
AFAB
It's
is
called
what they call
AFAB.
it. Assigned female at birth.
I was the first in Youngstown.
They used to call them real girl drag queens, but now they don't call them that.
They call them assigned female at birth.
So it's basically a girl dressing up as a drag queen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
like
anyone, literally anyone can be a drag queen. Like, honestly, I could be a drag king if I wanted to be. I could dress
What's a drag king?
A drag king. Oh, well, it used to be that if a woman dressed up as a man and performed, they were a drag king. Just the opposite of a drag queen. But now your gender does not dictate what kind of a performer you are. Your drag is whatever you want it to be. You know, recently we've had this whole group of performers that they like to get up and do like dad rock. Like, that's the new drag. You know, like they get up and they do Creed. Like, it's kind of like Creed. And I live for it, honestly. People get up, they're excited about doing it. I refer to those like you found your drag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a very like personalized kind of thing. We talked earlier about like people doing it for different reasons. For me, it is not even remotely sexual, because I can't tell you how not sexy I feel wrapped up in all this shit. But other people are different. Other people, you know, sometimes it's about gender exploration. Sometimes it's about sex work. I mean, and that's, as far as I'm concerned, that's all valid. But I don't like it when people kind of like zero in on this is the reason people are doing this.
Do you think like, and I don't want to go into these crazy people's heads, but it's almost like, and this Isaac was kind of hinting at it, it's almost like these people that are calling you sinners, that are saying you're exploiting it for sex, that are saying it's like they're not comfortable with their sexuality at all, if that makes sense. And it almost seems like it's like low self-esteem with their, you know what I mean? Like, I guess I can't even think like that. So
I think it's, when it comes to stuff like this, I can only speak from my own experience. And I remember being a teenager growing up in the Southern Baptist Church, and I remember seeing the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Right.
The video the first time. And I remember being very, very uncomfortable with that. Yeah. And my knee-jerk reaction was, this is satanic, and it's wrong, because it made me feel things that at the time I was not comfortable with. Yeah, so weird. And I think a lot of people do that. And honestly, my heart goes out to people that are stuck in that mindset. You know, like the one thing that happens sometimes, if somebody, you know, says hateful things about me or drag queens or whatever, you know, they'll get attacked and people will say, oh, well, that person's secretly gay. And I have, like, when I tell you that I went to my first day of college with a WWJD bracelet on, saying things like, you know, marriage should be between one man and one woman, you know, saying things like, I don't think that, you know, gay people deserve the same rights as everyone else. Like, that was kind of like drilled into my head. And it took me meeting other gay people who were productive members of the community, who were who just happened to be gay. You know, it took that. And so it's important to me that people are allowed the opportunity to evolve and change. And that goes back to what I said about like the malice versus being ignorant. I want people to be able to change. I don't believe in canceling people forever because of something that they said or something that they did. It's important. If people can't change, then what's the point? What's the point of any of this? What's the point of living? You know?
Yeah. Well,
but, yeah,
that's why I think Isaac and I wanted, like, as soon as this all went down, I was like, we have to have these guys on because our area is just so sheltered. And I said that in the podcast on Tuesday. It's like, I think people need to hear, Rob. I think you're a great example of someone who is putting themselves out there to help, like, educate. You know what I mean? Not just, you know, it's an educational part that has to happen for people to understand this and for people to get over this. You're not going to hit everybody, but if you can change a couple people at a time, slowly it'll get better. So
it's still a weirdly, you know, it's still a for being a very like democratic town. It is a very weirdly closeted area. Yes. And I know that every time Luke Bryan comes to town because my grinder is like ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm out of water. I take a drink. Oh, man. Luke Bryan and the grinder goes on. Look, we got some ticket sales for you. Just bought our tickets before.
Yay!
Yeah, there we go. All right. Well, I don't know. Isaac, again, his internet's terrible. There is Isaac.
Yeah, I'm about ready to give up, guys.
I was getting ready. Hey, ask a question about the tucking.
Do it.
How's it work? Is it meat in between potatoes, or is it to the left or right?
I wrapped mine around my waist 3 times.
Attaboy. that is fantastic.
I'm dead.
But really, though, some people do different things. Some people wear very tight panties. Like
it's got to be uncomfortable,
and just hope it gives.
Oh, it's horribly uncomfortable.
Right?
It's terrible.
Some people do actually tuck its meat between the potatoes, and this I know because
it's directly down.
We talk very intimately backstage.
Honestly, I usually wear things like I'm wearing. You can't really see. I'm wearing the same outfit that is on that poster. It's a giant ball gown. You can't see shit. You have no idea what I look like from the waist down, and I prefer it that way.
Yeah. So not tight, but does anybody wear tight? Like that's a legit question, Isaac. I'm not.
There are people that use duct tape on skin.
Oh.
Yeah. I've never personally done that. I've seen it done, and it is not for the faint of heart.
Yeah.
There are some queens that look fabulous.
Because I feel like if the peas get stuck in between the legs and they're bouncing around, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah. And it gets more difficult as you get older. You know, gravity.
Right.
How are you walking around in high heels then? You're pretty good?
Yes. When I was younger, I used to wear like 6-7 inch heels. Now, I mean, like drag doesn't really pay great health insurance, so I stick to more of a chunky heel.
I still do wear heels. It's like the drag equivalent of twisting your ankle at a basketball game.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like it's just not. It's not. I have shoes that I refer to as photo shoot shoes. I put them on for the picture and take them off immediately.
There you go. Well, Isaac, I want to go to this now. He's gone. We lost him again. I'm booting him out. So annoying. Get some real internet, Isaac. Does anybody else have any questions? We had like almost 100 people watching. Anybody have any questions, comments before we get these guys out of here? Well, you're going to be really, really getting ready here now, right? Is it getting down to like showtime here, right?
Yeah. Actually, they're rehearsing without us right now.
Oh no! We have the stars.
There's other stars.
Listen,
we're all stars.
I promise. I have done this show for 16 years. I could do it right now for you.
Okay.
We could probably perform the entire show with like if I go get some socks out of my sock drawer right now, we could probably just like oh look, I'm Jacqueline.
I will say that we do update it a little bit every year to mirror kind of like pop culture and stuff going on in the city of Youngstown. Like you'll appreciate this. There are a couple of jokes about the Mill Creek Park deer.
Yes. It's probably not siding with me though because I've been for the.
I don't know. I'm not the best person to ask because I totaled my car last month because 6
Uh-huh.
deer ran out in front of me. So
Vendetta against the deer.
and this one eats venison. Like
I had backstrap for dinner last night.
No, you didn't.
It was so delicious.
Awesome.
We're going. We're gonna.
It didn't come from my
We're
yard.
going hunting this weekend. I'm gonna have to get you guys some deer now. Look at
And I
this.
have
If
to
you do,
tell you,
I will
no,
gladly take it
no.
and pay the
All right.
fees.
And I have
All
to
right.
tell you that I watched the video of the guy talking to the albino deer, and I
Oh my God.
snorted.
Oh
I
my
snorted.
God.
And I'm going to tell you why. Because a couple of years ago, there was another albino deer in Mill Creek Park. And people would like go up and pet this deer, and they would have photographs, and like they named it, you know. And then all of a sudden,
I forget his name. I
Button.
know what you're talking about.
His name was
His name was Button.
Button
And-
knows it. Yep.
Oh, I remember. And then when the deer got hit by a car, everyone was like, oh no. And I'm like, you made it like people.
Yeah.
So it
Wait.
thought he was going to get food and got hit by
Yeah.
a car.
Wait,
Stop
you
it.
killed Button?
I didn't kill Button, but somebody killed Button.
I thought you were the one that hit the.
I do not know.
drag
Absolutely.
queen
In
that
fact,
killed
but I did
Button.
ask her. I asked her if when she put a picture of the venison she had yesterday, I was like, did it taste albino?
It was not albino
okay,
deer.
Rob,
I'm
hear us out.
certain. I know the hunter.
Instead of the drag queen that killed Christmas, it's going to be the drag queen that killed Buttons. That's like your sequel show.
And this is where we get canceled.
So I
You
would
won't
like
get-
to say
won't
I
get
do not
canceled for-
hunt. I
Oh, go ahead.
only cook. I don't hunt. I just cook what is given to me.
I cook.
Well, I'm going to get you guys. If I get a deer ever, like Chip just said, I never see deer. Like I'll see deer everywhere, and then when I go hunting, I never see them because I'm like a Sasquatch going through the woods. I think.
Anyone could get me a deer and take it to Hubbard to the place that processes. They make the best deer sticks. I will pay the money.
There you go.
Just let me know. Hit me up.
you guys
I
better
will go.
Mike, you better watch out. Save the Deer people are going to have are going to be anti-drag now just because you were.
I
saying
love the deer people, and I love the other deer people. I love all of
There
the
you go.
people.
I love everybody, right?
I do.
Love the people.
I totaled my car. I hate deer.
Drag queen got
also
run over
wrecked
by a
my car
reindeer.
last Thanksgiving, hitting a deer coming home from work the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. All right, Isaac, are you here now?
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you guys. I just
Poor Isaac.
Poor Isaac. All right.
I have
Well,
so many good
everybody,
questions.
we're gonna wrap this up. It's been an hour, so you guys can go practice and get ready for your show. Again, why don't you tell them real fast again? When are the shows?
December 8th and 9th at Club Switch. To get tickets for that, you just call the reservation line, which is 330-507-2358. If you would like to see it at the Youngstown Playhouse, it's December 15th, 16th, and 17th, and you have to get tickets at youngstownplayhouse.org.
Awesome. Well, thank you too for coming on. Good luck in your show. Good luck in everything else that you guys do. If you guys ever need us for anything, let us know. I'll be reaching out to you guys at the beginning of the year to talk about a fundraiser we can all do
Cool.
together. I
Oh,
think
wait. We have our next show, which you would also enjoy, which is in
What's it?
February called Dating Sucks the Musical.
Dating Sucks the musical.
And it is really good. So
All right.
Everyone-
maybe we could do.
yeah, the fun doesn't stop at the Drag Queen. We keep going all year. So plan on
Yeah, we do shows
February.
all year long. You know, this is just the one that people complain about.
Yeah, I was going to say, are the other shows drag or no?
No,
There,
they're not.
there may be drag
There
queens
shows.
every once in a while.
Every once in a while, sure, but it's not like we're not like the drag theater. We are the alternative theater. We're the theater that queer people usually end up performing at because they don't get the same opportunities at more traditional houses, you know. And that's not something we set out to be. We were kind of like the local theater, like the island of misfit actors. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and that's just who we ended up being.
Well,
so now it's like
We are the island of misfit podcasters, so we're all gonna get along just great.
And Isaac, if you remember any of those questions, you can always hit me up in my DMs.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Isaac, you could probably get him on Grinder too. He said.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh gosh, I'm good. Thank you.
Don't go on Grindr. You're gonna see things you don't want to see. Don't go on there.
Listen,
Don't go on there.
I'm putting my feet on OnlyFans before I go.
You know what? I'm thinking about it, honestly.
Baby.
Oh,
Get those things out of here.
You just gained followers.
You
Not
did.
me, but followers.
I'm gonna
You
start my
also
channel
need a
next month.
fan.
It's gonna be $5. Subscribe.
Get the dude in the
Oh my
garage.
God.
Oh God. All right. Yeah, Isaac, you just made the drag queen blush. Congratulations.
You can't tell under all this makeup if I'm blushing.
Right. You got
I have
Oh.
so much
skills
makeup
over
on my
there?
face, I can use it as a contraceptive.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. Again, good luck in your shows. Go online, buy tickets if you're in the comments. We will see you guys. Good luck. I look forward to talking to you guys again because this has been awesome.
Thank you. This is fun.
All
Thanks
right.
very
We'll
much,
see you guys
guys.
later. We're kicking you out. Bye.
Bye.
What? That was fantastic.
Dude, I feel
Dude,
so bad. I've been in and out. Armstrong's definitely down out here, though. And I don't have the best cell phone reception, which is why I can't stay on. So
Hey, while you're watching at home, before you go, do us a favor. Can you please there's 3 little buttons on our Facebook page. Click it and hit follow. We're like so close to 9,000, Isaac.
yeah.
And I made a post the other day asking for people to follow us, like to click the follows, and then like 15 people dropped off and were like, "Hey, F you, Luke." I'm like, "Come on, guys."
That's our followers for you. We
That
ask
is
them to
our
do something, they do the opposite. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, and for those of you at home who don't know, our real jobs, we don't do this, we don't actually make any money on it, are loan officers and real estate agents. We do both now. So if you need a
Yeah.
mortgage, you want to go find a house, let us know. We would love to help.
Call
We
us.
work Go Mortgage for our mortgage thing and Keller Williams Shermanic out of Canfield.
Corbin
We would love
office.
to help you guys
Corbin
look at
Canfield office.
houses, mortgages, financing, whatever. So Isaac, I know you were in and out, but that was fun.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
That was fun. So
I feel like Scarlett is a perfect friend to have for someone who doesn't understand it or is afraid because they don't understand how it works. Scarlett is the one to ask the questions to, and she'll tell you how. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. We have O'Keel as our black correspondent.
As my college roommate, that is the one thing O'Keel taught me is like, I came from an all-white school, and then having O'Keel as my best good friend to be able to ask him all the slightly racist yet questions I didn't understand.
But legitimate questions.
Just go get friends from all walks of life, and you'll be all
so
right.
now we have a friend. We have Scarlett and we have Nicole. We have 2 friends where we can ask questions about the gay community. I think this is great.
Yeah,
I think this is
exactly.
Good. We are growing, and so we're helping our followers grow and the area grow.
Right.
Just
don't be assholes. I mean, that's really it.
I mean, if you take anything out of this, right? Don't be a dick.
Right. Hateful. I mean, you could be an asshole sometimes. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not an asshole all the time because I can be, but like, just don't be hateful towards like an entire group of people for no reason. Like, why?
Because you don't understand them and you have
exactly.
I agree with that. So, all right. Well, again, if we are one more hit up, Venmo the MLO Bros if you'd like to donate to Full Spectrum or our project MKC, where we adopted a family. We're doing the Full Spectrum until Tuesday. I want to drop a check off with them Wednesday, Isaac.
Let's do it.
Spectrum. Go down there and drop a check off. Dude, we're over $1,000 already, so that's in 2 days. So, all right, everybody else, thank you so much. Look forward to hearing from everybody. We are back next week. We don't have any guests anymore. I'm just scheduling guests as we go. I don't care.
Right. Cool with it. I'm cool.
All right. All right. Go fix your internet.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thanks.